Alright everybody, we have a pretty cool game on our hands here. This is one of the games that was played at the opening week at BlizzCon. It was played on the alternative stream, not the main stream, and that's why we're going to do a bit of a rebroadcast here. Gonna go through that real quickly. We have GenG going up against TeamLiquid in the best of two, and to the left we have GenG with Kyoja on Urel, Rich on Alarak, Saka on Malfurion, Tist on Diablo, and Reset on Reyna. The boys from Germany, most of them from Germany, on the right with Hazorbs on Thrall, Liquid playing here with Nurok on Deckard Cain, Eternal and Blaze, Sportbilly on Muradin, and Phoenix played by Arcana. This was probably one of the most hyped series that we had coming from BlizzCon, and a lot of people complained that there was no actual broadcast for the match, so that's what we're going to do here right now and deliver one real quickly to see how that match actually went. A lot of people have been talking about it, Liquid also, of course, and GenG were talking a lot about it as the groups progressed. We haven't really gotten any kind of draft information here, but I can at least tell you the bans. So on the side of Team Liquid, they really tried to ban mobility out here. They started with a ban on Maiev, they banned Genji, and they also banned Karrigan. So they were really trying to limit especially Rich here with the bans that they targeted. And on the side of GenG, we saw a ban on Garrosh against Sportbilly, we saw Tyrande banned out as well, and Mephisto. So we are ending up with two compositions that are very melee heavy, especially on the side of Team Liquid. We've seen that a lot during the entire part 2 of the season. And this is something that especially Arcana, who has taken a bigger and bigger role in the team, has taken from Korea. He really loves to watch the Korean meta. He's very active when it comes to the research, and especially that Thrall that you see popping here up with the Echo of Elements on level 1 is something that he took from the Koreans when they started to reutilize that as the Western Clash, with especially the engage variation of Thrall over the Earthquake, so going full into the Sundering here. So one of the issues here is definitely that we have that high Reyna again when it comes to draft priority on the side of GenG. That's something that we've seen afterwards also throughout the entire opening week from the Korean teams. They really love to play with Reyna. First of all, because the damage output is absolutely fantastic, and also you can stop a lot of the engage potential from your opponent if you save your penetrating round. We've seen that especially played when you're going up against Garrosh, for example, that the opponent's team is oftentimes trying to look for that. We have seen similar synergies also with Diablo. And while we're talking about synergies, let's take a quick look here also at this combo with Urel and Diablo in particular. Urel has been a little bit nerfed, but of course the armor that she provides for the team is still absolutely fantastic, especially if you are having people trying to go in deep. If Diablo finds the engage, for example, Urel moves in with him. And that really led also to that death trio that we oftentimes saw in Europe, where we had Deckard Cain, Diablo, and Urel paired in the same team, which more than once led to victory here. I think for the longest time it was undefeated after the Western Clash that we had, so it was actually pretty impressive. And now we have a very sustainable composition for GenG, but Liquid actually with a pressure play against Kyoja here in the bot lane. But of course, if you're going up against the Urel, you won't be able to get too much done here in that situation. One hero that we have to put out, the quick gank at the top lane against Thrall here, just as I was about to talk about Rich, because we have to highlight his Alarak at this point. The build, pretty much standard, going for the extended lightning here on level 1, no big surprises here, the negatively charged now taken on level 4, and that engage tool for them is going to play a huge role. The play here on Volskaya, straight for the biotic emitter, and already Deckard Cain with a lockdown, immediately the jet propulsion comes in, Blaze gets flipped over though, and all of a sudden we're seeing Eternal in trouble, eats the silence here as well from Alarak, and that's the kill confirmed, kill number 2, and GenG walks away with the biotic emitter. Really good start for GenG here. Not only getting the double kill, but at the same time now having the item advantage heading into the first objective. And on Volskaya Foundry, of course, that biotic emitter is highly important at the beginning. Many teams trying to fight over that. And talking about fighting again, once more, Sportbilly here in trouble, but he holds the Dwarf Toss for a long time. Waits for Tis to try and get the stun into the wall, which Tis barely failed because of the range, and then jumps out. But the pressure is still there, and it only increases. At this point, GenG picks up level 7, and that's something Liquid just doesn't have. So they are trying to delay this a bit further. They already have Blaze at the bot lane here, attempting to get level 7. The experience is direly needed, and then they can try and move in again. Thrall in the meantime can also complete his Echo of the Elements, which HazOps just did. Super important. A bit of pressure against Eternal, as the rest of the team was already moving over to the turret camp, trying to get another item. GenG now with 60 points on the objective, and they themselves are also heading over to grab another item up for themselves. But here comes the engage, and Sportbilly is looking for that opening. There's immediately the follow-up from Deckard Cain. The damage isn't quite there yet, though, as we are seeing GenG starting to move in again. They also have pressure topside with another camp. Kyoja a bit in trouble. Arcana, though, losing the shield already. Here comes the attack against Eternal again. The siege is good, but he dies regardless. Trying to use the jet propulsion here to lock Diablo down, but they cannot get the kill against his. Didn't even have to use the biotic emitter. Only turrets dropped during that fight, and therefore another big win here for GenG. 3 kills against 0, and looking really strong for that first protector here. Grabbing that immediately, and it also really shows you how Rich at this point is making so much work. Whenever we're seeing Diablo trying to go in, get that follow-up and the flip over, you have immediately the combo follow-up from Rich with his Alarak. Another kill here at the bot lane against Arcana with the exact same setup here, as we are seeing the Protector move through the middle. Already at this point, at least the quest talents are looking decent for Liquid, but this is not really a game where they are so far having a big impact. We're seeing them a level behind, as GenG still gets value at the top. 3-man is pushing the middle, and especially with Rich's Alarak, Sportbilly has to still be careful here that he doesn't get caught in a combo. But up to the top, of course, the pressure is also mounting up as the Protector is starting to go through the wall, the well, and now straight aiming for the fort here. With GenG about to hit level 10, Liquid is really looking at a dire situation in this game. Urel with a bit of an adjustment here too on the level 7, but first of all an attempt by Liquid to grab the kill before the 10 is going to become a problem. Reset is low and he goes down. Great kill by Liquid, but now they have to get out of here as we have Tist moving in. They want the counter kill. The APOC is there, and that is a Thrall falling. Great move by Liquid actually. They see an opportunity as the Protector's topside and is guaranteed to get the fort to maybe get a kill in the mid lane, and they still go for it. They get the kill, but then on the retreat we're seeing the rotation coming from top. The Protector dropped and then the engage through Diablo with Tist using the Apocalypse. They have the 10 by then, but still a cool idea from Liquid. And absolute worthy trade in the end because of the underdog bonus and experience that they got through it as well. In an ideal scenario, of course, you get the kill, you move away, you wait for your own 10, and simply because your opponent isn't a 5 versus 4, it can't do very little. But now with a level lead and the level 10 ability, we're seeing the immediate push into the mid lane, trying to drop another fort, and it's looking good for GenG. But Liquid has heroic abilities now as well. Here comes the penetrating round against Eternal as he's trying to go in for the engage with the jet propulsion. Exactly what we pointed out earlier. You can stop a lot of this with penetrating rounds, and that's exactly the thought process behind Reyna. It's not only the damage output, it's also that you can stop a lot of the engage potential that you have on your opponent. Talking about engage, as I said earlier, Liquid has been leaning more and more to using Sundering with Thrall because you want to get those flanks and then those kills for, let's say, Malfurion, who doesn't have Iceblock any longer, or you go for Reyna. But at the same time, you're playing a composition that hinges also on the damage output that Phoenix can get here. And therefore, Earthquake still the choice here in this first game in the best of 2 between those two, just so that you get those slows that Arcana then can capitalize on. We have a lot of slows, by the way, on that team. We have Deckard Cain, we have also, of course, the Blaze Oil, and that's going to help a lot. Billy again in trouble a little bit here, but immediately the follow-up stun with the jet propulsion. Stay a while and listen to stop the engage from the side. A good route coming in from HazOps. Billy jumping in deep again, doesn't have the healing static yet, and he falls victim to the attack as he's too far away from the bunker. Bunker goes away, and there's the Apocalypse as the follow-up. Nurok falls the double kill as GenG is just taking no prisoners here. 1, 2, 3 kills already. It's a triple, and now we're having a quick chase here down to the bottom where Eternal and HazOps are trying to escape. In the meantime, the rest of GenG moves through the middle, drops another fort here, and looking extremely powerful in this first game. 8 kills against 1. We're currently looking at a situation where we are having a 2-level lead by now. If we want to look a bit at the damage output here, then you can already tell that especially Rich has a huge impact. Even topping Reyna's damage through the combos that he's throwing out here. But of course, with all the space that is provided through Urel, through the plays that are being made by Diablo and Alarak here, there's always the chance for Reyna to just get those auto attacks out and really pressure, especially Muradin here whenever he makes his engage. On Team Liquid's side, we still have decent damage output on the side of Phoenix, but they have a huge problem securing these kills whenever we end up in one of those big team fights. Now, of course, the situation is getting pretty dire for Liquid at this point. They are about to lose the second objective topside as well. The idea is normally here that you want to get level 13 and then you engage into the objective. But right now, they are still a far cry away from hitting the next level. So GenG is posturing up at the top lane. They have another camp taken. And in the meantime, a bit of a trap setup, trying to bait a bit with the Blaze play at the bot lane, pushing out lanes. It was a smart move. It was actually a cool idea, trying to set up that little trap, bait with Blaze, and see if someone falls for it. That wasn't quite the case, though. GenG is playing this very, very cautious here, and now, of course, Liquid at some point just has to flip the switch. They have to think, okay, guys, what are we going to do? Do we engage without level 13 talents? Do we really wait and give them another protector, not fight for it? And they seem to make the choice to just simply walk away from objective number 2, give it over to GenG, and then deal with the consequences later. Try to hope for an even talented fight at some point. So the defense is already starting to set up at the top lane, and of course the onslaught is as well. GenG moving in, having Diablo and Malfurion in the protector, thinking about the keep here, but the attack in the middle is happening as Team Liquid is again looking for a kill here. They're trying to go into a fight where they have a numeric advantage, but they're not quite getting it, and here comes the lockdown against Arcana through the protector. Great kill here once again. GenG playing this incredibly smart. I'm honestly liking the moves that Liquid is making whenever they are at a disadvantageous position. They're looking for fights, they're looking for a good position to engage into a 5 versus 3, maybe get a gank somewhere on the map, but the reactions from GenG are just absolutely perfect, and always make sure that Liquid is getting very, very little out of these moves. Now, with Arcana down, the immediate reaction was to split out Eternal up to the top side to deal with the camp here, but of course that Protector is still doing work. With a Fort eliminated at the bot lane, we're now seeing Liquid just simply struggling here to defend that keep. And with still 10 seconds left on the Protector, there's a lot of damage to be done. Experience is another problem, nearly level 16 for GenG that would drop another talent into their hands, and that's of course the biggest concern on Liquid's side right now. They need this fight now, they need it before 16, and they're trying to force it. They're going in. The Wolf, the Jet Propulsion. They are going straight for Urel, but here comes the Ardent Defender, and immediately Kyoja eating the salvo afterwards, still fully alive. A quick stay a while and listen, but the APOC is already coming through. The bunker in play, but it's not enough. Thrall is down, and that could be the beginning of the end as we are seeing Eternal pushed into a corner quite literally. Kyoja is trying to chase him as the Eternal Jet Propulsion's away, but at this point, it's even questionable if they can hold it, even with those heroes being saved here. Eternal is low, Alarak delivers the final blow as Rich just stacks up another kill, and we are seeing the keep fall at the bot side. 3-level advantage for GenG, the talent tier advantage too, and of course, to add insult to injury, we have the third objective spawning at the bottom of the map. It is going to be control point C, and there's no keep on that bot lane anymore to even slow them down. Liquid is in a corner. They need to win a big fight, and so far the only thing that they found in this best of 2 is a single kill. Every single map counts here at the opening week format that we have for BlizzCon with the groups. It's not a best of 3 series where you can drop a map and then still decide the match in your favor. Here, literally every map is highly important since it provides points for all the teams, for the group rankings, and is one of the most important things overall, just simply because seeding is going to become so important as we're heading into BlizzCon. But also another kill coming in now for GenG. They are farming Liquid at this point. A great collapse onto Blaze at the top side. We have a bit of an invade by Liquid here at the bottom left, where they're trying to at least make sure that the item advantage in the side of their opponent is not too big. But you can already see that we have 2 biotic emitters here. We're seeing 1 turret, and when you look over to Urel, we don't have one yet, but they have a chance to pick up even more later on. Liquid, on the other hand, they're relying on a single turret right now, and that's not really a whole lot of items if you're trying to offset a talent advantage on your opponent's side. And GenG, they are not playing passive here either. They know exactly how far ahead they are. The stat advantage to the 4-level lead is already alone. There comes the Apox. Stay a while and listen to stop the engage. They need to play around Rich, and they're trying to. Great salvo coming out, but it's not enough. They're all still falling. A lot of the heroes low on the side of GenG, but they have the biotic emitters and they're immediately using them. Billy in the middle of things. They try to get the kill against Kyoja. They might even be able to get it, but Kyoja jumps out. No, Blaze gets him. The counter kill here as TeamLiquid is desperately trying to hold on to that keep at the top lane. Here comes the attack against Reset. Once again, Arcana with the attempt of a play, but he falls. The keep dies, and Eternal is also eliminated. Sport Billy attempting to jump out here, but the roots are on the ground immediately, and that could be a dead dwarf. In comes once again Alarak, and then Jim Raynor is the one with the last and final hit. Double camp topside, pushing through to the corner. You're already having at the bot lane Catapults dropping the shields and going for it. Hazop's trying to flank him, trying to take him down here, but the core is down to 60%, 50, and this is going to be GenG taking game number 1 in this series against TeamLiquid. Alright, welcome back everybody to game number 2 in the series between GenG and TeamLiquid here at the opening week for BlizzCon. Let's not mince words. TeamLiquid got pretty much spanked on map number 1, but let's see how they fare on the second map at Tomb of the Spider Queen. To the left, GenG with Sak on Whiteman, Kyoja on Blaze, Rich on Junkrat, Tist again on Diablo, and Reset once more on Reyna. And to the right side, it's Arcana from TeamLiquid on GenG, Urel played by Eternal, Hazops with Jaina, Nurok once more on Deckard Kane, and Sport Billy is playing Johanna. So the last game, definitely not going too well for Liquid. They pretty much stuck to the ban pattern though during the draft. They banned out Maiev and Karrigan, but this time they switched their third ban slightly and banned a Nuburak instead, trying to really limit the engage potential that you can see coming out from your opponent. Oh, Arcana actually talking about engage, going in really deep for this one. Tist already waiting for him in the shadows, trying to get a kill, but it is the first blood for Liquid, as they get not only Rich, but they also drop Tist, Junkrat and Diablo, both fall here. GenG baited a little bit too deep here at the beginning of game number 1. Bit of a little skirmish down here against Kyoja as well, as he's trying to escape, but Arcana and Eternal are both on the job trying to drop Blaze, but it looks like, at least for now, with the help of Reset and Sake, he can stay alive. Question is now if Eternal, on the other hand, can get away from this one. Nice opening into that into that second game. The lead in the best of 2, of course, goes to the Korean team, but so far on the second map, we are at least seeing the Europeans fight back a little bit. Didn't even get the time to talk about the bans that we had on the side of GenG, but let's go over them real quickly. Again, they ban out Sport Billy's hero, they ban out Garrosh, they also ban Toranda, and we're having them with a third ban on Phoenix. Apparently they don't really want to deal with the Phoenix combos that TeamLiquid has set up around Arcana, but that allowed the early GenG pick here for TeamLiquid, and they're using him, of course, to set the balance of those lanes a bit off, trying to jump off to the solo lane oftentimes, and talking solo lane, both of the solo laners rotating here into the middle, trying to fight for another kill. Liquid very, very aggressive, pushing the waves out really fast, trying to get collapses onto side lanes or into the middle with a numeric advantage. Hazops, of course, is providing a lot of the wave clear that we are seeing for TeamLiquid in this particular case. Johanna is adding to that as well. And that's typically what Europe tries to do. Get the quick wave clear, push the lanes out, make the rotations happen a little bit faster. But we have a fair amount of wave clear also on the side of their opponent, mainly around Junkrat though, and Blaze, who's mostly stuck in that solo lane. So TeamLiquid in the 4-man rotation with a slight advantage, at least on that end. Over and over, you will see Tist trying to set up these little attacks here on the side. He's always looking for the flank. Sake behind him on Whitemane. And of course, especially after level 13, Sake is going to have a much bigger impact thanks to the route that he gets through the Inquisition. It's going to be in, through the Searing Leash, which is going to be heavily important as a follow-up after Diablo makes the engage. Follow-ups are also here in the mid lane. Once again, it happened plenty, but we don't have the burst damage for TeamLiquid, as we still see Jaina up to the top lane. Nice body blocks here against Billy. Johanna all of a sudden in trouble. Iron Skin already used, and that's a dead frontliner. Great play here by GenG, and especially Tis doing extremely well in that particular situation, making sure work that there's absolutely no chance for Johanna to actually move out of this. Now Hazob's rotated back down after he had to clear the wave to the top side, so now they have a chance of at least making sure that they're not getting any structure damage pushed against them. There are already a couple of adjustments. Hazob's a little bit too far out here, actually, and is trying to escape towards the top. That barely works out because Rich wasn't able to push him back into the team with a Junkrat. But this is a spicy game, as you can already tell. Arcana with the attempt to turn in, but already Diablo being right there for him to be interrupted. We have another skirmish happening in the middle at the same time. High action game here for sure. Billy again being flipped over, uses the Iron Skin, and this time Tist is not able to stay ahead of him to body block him and allow the free shots from the rest of the team to fall in here. Now Diablo made the adjustment on level 1 going into the Soul Shield. That is of course designed to make sure that Jaina doesn't really get too much burst damage onto Tist here, and that Diablo will with those souls be in a position where he can get the damage, or where he can soak the damage and make the engages happen. Big engage onto Saka right now, who actually gets pushed back by Eternal, and that could be the end of Whitemane. Reset is also rather low. Billy with the first kill here, well done. Arcana the final blow, and now we have House Orbs dropping Reset, double kill once more for TeamLiquid. The early lead in the game goes to the European team. Level 7 hitting a bit faster here. 4 kills against 1, and now they're attempting to zone out Diablo to get the turn in and make sure that they have the Web Weavers and therefore the momentum in their favor. Again, the pressure play through the middle. We have to the side. Eternal always waiting. He tries to make sure that if there is a fight happening, he'll be there, providing that extra armor for his team. Speccing into the traditional build from UL with the Aegis of Light on level 4 and then the Holy Avenger on level 7. It's the most common build in Europe. We see the Divine Steed every now and then coming through, but this build is still the one that you will see in most of the games. The solo lane has been taken over by the 2 again. Also have to highlight again the intercession on Whitemane as the level 7 talent, so there is now a cleanse available on the side of GenG. Bit of a brawl here at the bot lane too, where Eternal and Kyoja are both trying to get those gems, but the real fight is happening here over the top turn-in spot, where Tist is now trying to turn in. Arcana with a great interrupt here, getting the attack through and making sure that it's at least not easy for GenG to confirm that potential turn-in. But they still managed to do it. Despite the kills that we have seen from TeamLiquid, it is actually the blue team, the Korean team, that gets the first round of Web Weavers. Good attack against Reset here though. The attempt again by Liquid, as seen on the last map, to get kills immediately after the opponent takes control over the objective, to just diminish the value that they can get. But in this case, Reset lives, moves away, and now of course that push is going to be absolutely crucial. How well can TeamLiquid defend against it? The pressure is in the middle, at least for now. We're seeing Kyoja rotate over with Blaze, trying to break through the wall here, down to the bottom of the map. Urel is still solo defending, and now GenG is starting to move to the top lane to put the pressure on the Junkrat. Arcana against Rich is going to be the battle here, and Rich already has to move away, especially since Diablo made the rotation in to put the pressure onto GenG if he really wants to go for that kill against Junkrat. So the defense in the middle, mainly hinging on Hazu, and they might even get a kill here. Reset is low, and he might fall. They want to get him, and they indeed do. Once again, Eternal jumping in here, but it's Hazorps who secures the kill with a final blow. Arcana with a rotation into the middle as well, as they're looking for more, and they're about to get one, maybe even. Kyoja is already low. Arcana gets pushed in, gets flipped, but is able to jump away. Even the attempt by Rich here to push him back in, not successful. One kill when everything's said and done against Reset is all they got. But of course the trade worth it here for GenG. They are able to get the fort at the top lane. So from a structure to kill perspective, the trade was definitely worth it. But you look at experience, and it is actually impressive how Liquid was able, through that split of Urel to the bottom of the map at the beginning of the entire fight, and then the rotation and the kill in the middle, able to even get ahead in experience. The experience through kills also starts to really add up for them. They have 5 kills against 1, and despite the fact that the only objective in the game thus far was in the hands of GenG, it is TeamLiquid who's ahead and hits the earlier level 10.
absolutely insane constellation right now, and that is something that TeamLiquid is going to try and make even worse for GenG with an attempt to go for the turn in here at the bottom spot. Bunker had already been dropped by Kyoja. Keep in mind, we're talking about an 80-second cooldown in that current patch here. Still, GenG at the top, Arcana doing very well here so far. Always trying to create kill opportunities for the rest of the team or secure the final blow here. We have zoning attempts as Eternal is looking to turn in here, but Kyoja already on the way, gets the interrupt once again. Very nice delay tactic from GenG. Arcana completing his level 4 quest. Super important for him to get that burst damage out later on. And here comes the attack once again. Ring of Frost is there. Here comes the Apocalypse first of all. Ring of Frost as an option, but it's actually the kill against Johanna. Here's the ring though as the follow-up to the stale while listen. And oh boy, the pain is coming as we see Whitemane falling. The jump onto reset confirms kill number 2. Urel falls in the process, is 2 for 2, and that's actually a big blow against Liquid now because they lost a huge amount of gems on the side of Eternal. Dropped behind the gates here. Hazorp's now also in trouble. Nurok trying to slow the onslaught down to allow him to escape and manages to do that. A fantastic combo by Liquid. After Johanna falls from the stay in while and listens straight into the Ring of Frost, allows the double kill, but still Urel dies afterwards and the gems are lost. Liquid, 7 kills against 3. They still have the gem count to get it turn in on their own, but so far GenG has done a fantastic job of interrupting. And again, Tiz going in deep, maybe a little bit deeper than he was hoping for here. Just hits Arcana as he makes the jump over the wall, but there's no consequence as Diablo finds himself surrounded by opponents for a second. Liquid still has the lead in experience and is now looking for that turn-in. Arcana at the top is not getting it though. Still no turn-in completed for Team Liquid as we have an additional 33 gems dropped already by their opponent. It's a great game that GenG plays here. The kills are in favor of Team Liquid, but it's actually very impressive how much the Korean team is able to control the objective here. And Eternal trying to make up for that earlier faux pas where he gets baited over the wall and is going straight in for Blaze, but the bunker's on the ground. They baited the cooldown. Riptire is actually eliminated, but here's the move back in for Eternal as they're trying to get the kill. Arcana, on the other hand, is going up against Rich in the backline, going for the X-Strike, is in trouble here. Gets the deflect in, but he still falls. He had some gems. The counter kills are absolutely necessary if Liquid wants to get out of this. They can't get them. They nearly even lose Eternal, and now Liquid once more losing a fair amount of gems here on GenG in particular. Trouble times for them, but it's perfect for GenG. They are now in a spot where they get the second Webweaver wave in a row. So again, Korean teams, great with the objective here, controlling it perfectly. It's really that experience lead that so far is keeping Team Liquid in the game. They lost the fort at the top lane, they lost the wall here in the middle, and of course what we are seeing right now is an attempt by GenG to simply snowball this game, take a few more structures, take the lead in experience and play through that. For Team Liquid, it's really important to still hold on to the gems that they have. They already lost way too many, to be honest. But if they can at any point get those turn-ins and maybe get a double turn-in in a row, there's a lot of structures for them still to be picked up in that outer ring of defense. And if they're able to do that, they should take a huge lead in experience here. Because it's really what keeps them in the game. Their ability to soak all of these lanes. Then again, you see Eternal in a very, very awkward spot here with 26 gems. Now, of course, there is a little bit of a silver lining to this. There's a bit chase going on from GenG, and that means that they are not able to push with every hero available here. But Eternal is looking like he is going to fall here eventually. That's 26 additional gems gone. The pressure play through the bot lane still delivers the fort. In the middle, another structure has fallen, and GenG is now taking the significant lead in this series once again with an entire level lead, 14 versus 13, and Liquid, they have to hold on to the 19 gems that Nurok still has, 23 on the side of Hazorps. They have enough for a turn-in, but we have the attempt by GenG to put slowly and steadily one after another nail into that coffin and get the 2-0 victory in this series. The play for the boss at the top side, but Liquid is aware what's happening here. They're trying to intercept Rich, and they actually find him. They take him down. Great blessed shield by Johanna, and that's a fantastic kill and stops GenG cold in their tracks. And Team Liquid, they want more. They already have Urel on the way back into the fight, and they are looking to maybe even take over that boss. It's already incredibly low. Hazorps comes in too. They're looking for another kill. They drop the quick radar here, and that's already a huge start. The boss is leashed, and with that, GenG moves away. It's all they wanted to do. Don't give the boss over to Team Liquid. Don't allow them to get back into this game. Don't give them that free ticket. Liquid, then again, they are trying to use the numeric advantage now. Great Iron Skin being used here on the side of Johanna. Once again, the stay in while and listen, but the intercession comes through. Well done by Sake. No chance to go follow up against Diablo here, and still the lead in experience for GenG. But on the bright side, for the Europeans, we're now seeing the first Web Weaver wave finally coming through for Liquid. 12, 13 minutes into the game, the first objective for the European team. Absolutely crazy how well those turn-in spots were covered by GenG. Now they have great tools, obviously, to do exactly that, but it's still very impressive here. Pressure towards the bot lane, and now the big question still remains, how much can Liquid get out of this? They're rotating between middle and bot, they're looking for kills, they want to really push this all the way. The top is being defended by Junkrat, and Liquid needs to at least get a couple of turrets here. They should try and go for a fort at least. They will get the lead in experience. But here comes the flank. That's going in from the back. Immediately the bunker being used and burned away as Hazops drops the Blizzard. They're moving in against Kyoja. 19 gems on Blaze. Cone of Cold is missing. Even the Ring of Frost committed to, and the kill is there. Reset, on the other hand, is homing in on Hazops, trying to get the kill, but Eternal also follows this up. Again, the engage against Hazo. A huge problem here. The Apocalypse even coming through, but Hazo still on half HP. The fort is down. A 5 versus 4. 16 on both sides now, but the root attempt, Tist has none of it. Moves out with a Shadow Charge against the minion, but Arcana is trying to go for Rich now. Hunting down Junkrat. Rich saving himself here and jumping away, but a great attack here regardless by GenG, trying to get that kill, nearly confirming it, and then walking away without losing a single hero after the initial collapse against Kyoja's Blaze. Great play by Team Liquid as well, getting some structures here out of it. They were able to drop the 2 towers up to the top through the Web Weavers. In the middle, they still have some work to be done, but they again hold the lead in experience. The fort at the bot lane gave them a lot, and that kill against Kyoja made also sure that, at least for now, there is no threat against of a third Web Weaver coming in through GenG. 72 gems still in the hands of Team Liquid, so another opportunity to go for a second Web Weaver. They're already trying to push the mid lane out here. Both of the teams going for the Night Camp, going for the Bruiser Camp, trying to play around the Spell Aura here, and fighting. Of course, the Mage is the first one to be attacked. And GenG is pressing this forward quite nicely. 16 is going to be absolutely fantastic here now on the hand of Team Liquid. They have the northern exposure, so the blow-up idea that they have, especially with the stay on and listen setup into the Ring of Frost, is even more enhanced through that. Engaged by Tist, and that didn't quite work out for him. Tist eats some free damage here as Rich is using the Riptire to zone them out, gets the damage through against the Eternal and Arcana, and immediately starts to jump back into the fight here. Billy, though, wants to turn it around and starting to move in. No Blessed Shield committed to just yet, but Nurok with a slow. Blessed Shield could come just now, but they're not able to get that through. The bunker is already on the ground, and immediately Eternal jumps back, taps at the fountain. GenG is pushing it forward, but Liquid is still waiting for an opportunity to turn it around. I gotta be frank with you, I expected the entire time to just see someone flip the switch here, drop the Blessed Shield, and then try to go for that quick re-engage into the fight, try and see if they can get a target. But we had a few of those heroics still in cooldown, and I think that's one of the main concerns that Liquid had in this situation. You need to make sure that these fights count now. Radar taken out again as they're trying to go for the turn-in. 48 gems delivered by GenG, 27 by Liquid. Here comes again Johanna. Ring of Frost, get wrecked, son. Down goes Blaze. The follow-up is there. The APOC only hitting Eternal here, but it's a 5 versus 4, and now Liquid is on the warpath. They're looking for more. They're looking for Tist, but again, Saka on white main keeps everyone alive here. Eternal moving away, but this is the chance for Liquid now to get that turn in, get those Web Weavers. But it is Rich with that pesky Junkrat that just shells away with the grenades and gets the interrupts over and over again, except for the fact that we have Arcana sneaking to the bottom outside of vision and getting the gems finally confirmed here. Immediately the jump back as well, defending the wall, grabbing all the experience, grabbing the gems, not giving any of it up, and you can see that lead in XP coming in once more. 10 kills against 5, 18 versus 17 in levels. From a numeric position, Liquid has been in a great spot the entire game, but let's face it, every time we see this fight, we're waiting for the Koreans to just dial it up to 100 and get those kills and turn the game on its head. Right now, it's still the structural advantage that they are rocking, but Liquid could set themselves apart even further if they are able to take another fort or two down here, and they're trying to do that in the mid lane now. Nearly level 19 for them. They have the advantage there, but they do not have a talent advantage. No storm talents for them. Rotation to the top as the web weavers at the mid lane have been destroyed. So much poke available on the side of GenG here with Blaze and Junkrat in particular. But once again, we're seeing Liquid go for the structures, and they're about to drop that fort. They're also looking for an opportunity to again get the kill, but the Riptire is zoning them here. Rich not afraid to drop the cooldown right away, but the structures still fall. Web weavers active at the bot lane, attempting now to also threaten the wall at the keep, but Rich is there. Rich is there, always using the mobility on his Junkrat to just, yeah, extinguish those fires that appear on the map here. But it also misses that Liquid now sees an opportunity to put some more pressure onto the middle of the map. Even just dropping the fountain here would already be a small victory, since it would deny the chance to the opponent's team to tap off at the fountain here. But of course the main play for Liquid is that level 20. They want to get 20. They want to get the Storm Talents, get the advantage, and then enforce fights. Be aggressive. Try to take the initiative. And in an ideal world, what GenG would try to do is get the turn in even before that. There's always, at the beginning of the game in particular, this weird dynamic where you don't really want to get an objective just before your opponent hits a talent advantage, because you're afraid that you're not getting too much out of it. The problem is that Team Liquid holds enough gems to get a turn in on their own. So if you can get a turn in by yourself and, so to say, waste it, just get a little bit more map presence through it and push those waves out, but you deny also a turn in on your opponent's side, it's absolutely worth it. In this case now, we are having level 20 for Team Liquid, and they have the gems to get a turn in on their own. So this is going to be a huge play, especially since Liquid is not even shying away from making the play for the boss here. So the red web weavers are already being put on the map, and as we can see now, the boss is about to be taken. GenG knows it. They see the boss still up, and they know what's happening here. They themselves have actually made the play for their own camp here to the left. They've been prepping it, and they're trying to take it with Tist, but they know that this is going to hurt. The attempt to push out the bot lane is mainly there to make sure that this web weaver is going to be delayed quite a bit, so that the bottom keep is not under any pressure anytime soon. And in the middle, we have that bruiser camp. So the setup is actually fantastic. Bruiser camp in the middle, big push out of the bot lane, but they know that the main action will be here at the top. Now GenG, through that experience grab they had at bot side, they now also look at level 20 abilities, but this is a huge push. Boss plus web weavers, and here comes Team Liquid looking for that keep. They're trying to make the engage here. So far no blessed shield being used, and also the Stay and While and Listen still up for the Ring of Frost setup. Again, Junkrat with a place, but Billy is extremely low. Billy is terribly low. He needs to be careful here. He gets the Unstoppable through, and we're having him at least for now safe as Nurok tops him up once again. Going on level 20 also for the Respect the Elderly. Here comes the APOC. The kill attempts against Liquid. Billy, the level 20 procs, and he walks away at least for now. Liquid is in trouble though. They are all so low, and here comes the chase. Jet propulsion on the deck arcane. Nurok about to fall. The Ring of Frost not even slowing them down, as we're seeing GenG looking for another kill. Barely Eternal, able to walk away from it. His level 20 saving him there as he pops it just as Diablo makes the engage happen. Bot lane pressure is now also mounting up though, and even the core has taken damage on the side of GenG. 65% through the boss. The bottom keep falls as well. When all is said and done, Liquid with a fantastic attack, but you have to give it to GenG here. Forcing the fight behind the boss, finding the kill against Deckard Cain was exactly what they needed to do here, and they were trying to get more. And it was so close. They were so close to getting another 2 or 3 kills here even, and that would have completely turned this game on its head. But they accepted that the core will take damage through the boss, but they will able to hold on to it, at least for the time being. Now they are pushing, and they are trying to use their own web weavers to get a few keeps in this game as well. Both of the teams on 20, and of course right now there is a huge focus again on that mid lane. And we have, this is the only lane where we still have a keep for GenG, but we've all seen how strong Koreans can be in these team fights, and all you have to do this late in the game is win one decisively, and you have a shot at your opponent's core, and they know that too. They also still have the gems for nearly another turn in if they play their cards right here. The Web Weavers are defending the catapult lanes, and GenG is moving through the middle. Liquid knows what's up. They are in a position where they have all their heroic abilities up, off cooldown. Same is true for their opponent, but this could still hurt. The poke coming from Hazorps mainly, always staying away. He knows that Rich is looking for a chance to pop him in with a concussive mine, and he knows that also Kyoja is looking for that jet propulsion. He needs to be careful. Arcana jumping around, Billy peeling at the front. Again, Web Weaver is about to fall. Another Web Weaver already arriving at the bot lane, though the keep is taking some damage, but not enough. Here comes Nurok trying for the slow. They're moving in again. Kyoja low, so is Tist, but Sake tops them up immediately. Bot lane pressure mounting up as well as Hazorp rotates over. They need to take this apart, and they do. And at the top side, we're having Arcana doing the exact same thing. The keeps are safe for now, but GenG nearly has the amount of gems to go for another turn in here. 58 out of 65. They only need another 7, and they will be able to send the Web Weavers through again. And of course, these bad boys are starting to scale. 23 minutes into the game, 22 versus 21 in levels, and boss up in 1.5 minutes again. Then it's going to become a huge issue here. GenG is waiting for more gems, and TeamLiquid at the same time is looking for an opportunity. Get that wombo combo one more time, blow a hero up, somehow stay alive here, get the stale mine and listen, get the Cone of Cold in, the Ring of Frost, and drop a target. Go for Rich maybe with Arcana. He's looking for the place the entire time here, and GenG is doing basically the same. Try and just get one target, get one time. Tist with the APOC, they're going for it, and they're looking for a target. They're finding Billy, and Billy again through the indestructible stays alive. Nurok saving him. Ring of Frost not having the effect they wanted, but here comes the X-Strike, and down goes Kyoja. Blaze is dead, and the Hellgate had to be used from Tist to jump away. The kill is there. It's TeamLiquid who get it, but they are all low. Hazorps nearly falling to the grenades here. Eternal trying to just eat some earlier on to keep him alive. Nurok topping them up. Nearly the kills from GenG. Fantastic play again by TeamLiquid, but it is incredible how close to getting 2, 3, 4 kills GenG is in every single fight. You have to give it to TeamLiquid. They're playing this really on razor's edge. They're always able to keep their heroes alive here, but you can already tell that if at any point one of them dies, it's going to be a snowball. It's going to be several being eliminated, and that will be the beginning of the end. It's such a tense game here. 65% on the core, and catapults actually homing in already, and that's a huge problem. No one rotating over, and the bees are stopped as well. That core might even fall. Liquid is moving in, and at that point they could even right-click it. The top lane was not really on the radar of GenG, and Liquid is forcing them, is denying them any chance of moving back to defend it. Finally, the catapults are falling. The turn-in was there, but here comes the attack as the Web Weavers come through for GenG. They're looking for the kill. Ice Block used by Hazorps. They're going for the core, and they get it. The 1-1 in the series as Liquid right-clicks the core, takes it down, and ties the best of 2.